Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I did this really fast, really easy, everyday makeup look. When I am not explaining it to the camera, this usually takes me about 7 minutes to do in the morning, and I've just been doing this every day before work, so it's foolproof to get you out the door in the morning. And a lot of, actually all of the makeup that I use today is from the drugstore, so super affordable, super easy, so super achievable as well. So if you want to see how I got this look, please keep watching. If you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed and comment down below and let me know what other videos you guys would like to see in the future. Thanks again so much for watching. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is actually bronze / contour, and I know that sounds kind of crazy, but in order to make this routine go really fast, we're gonna kind of do things out of order. For this, I'm using the NYX Cream Highlight and Contour Palette. And for this, I'm just taking a flat brush, but any brush will do. And just quickly going around the perimeters of my face where you would normally contour. So okay, so you can see we've got the contour on, and I'm not going to worry about blending it out right now because we're going to blend everything all together at once, and I think that that is what makes this routine go by so quickly. So next I'm moving on to concealer, and I'm using the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Concealer. And I'm putting that under my eyes, on my eyelids, and my chin. And I've got a few friends here that I'm going to cover up. What I've noticed with my dry skin is that my makeup typically like clumps up like around my nose and on my chin. And I think it's because I try to put too much product there. So I'm going to kind of skip putting product on my nose at first. I'll slowly blend it onto the nose. But with my dry skin, and I don't know what it is, maybe that's just normal for makeup to build up in those areas for people, but for me, I've noticed that that's like really like where it builds up throughout the day. So I'm gonna skip that area, but I will blend the makeup onto there as we go. So with the concealer, I'm blending it in that general area, but you can see that I'm kind of blending it into the contour that we put on. So blending two things at once. I'm mostly focusing on the concealer at this point though. And now just taking a little bit on the nose, covering up any redness as you normally would with concealer, and a little bit up here where I get red. But I'm not caking this on. This is really light, everyday, super fast makeup. So you can see that the concealer is blended in and it kind of got rid of our redness, and it's just going to kind of prime for our foundation. And for foundation, I'm using another NYX product. This is the Total Control Drop Foundation. I like this foundation for every day because it's really sheer, but it still gives you that color and a little bit of coverage, which I think is perfect for this look because I don't want a really heavy foundation to cover up the contour and the concealer necessarily, because otherwise those steps would have been pointless to do first, you know what I'm saying? So a really light sheer coverage foundation or even like a BB cream might work. This I'm blending more into the contour, you can see. So the concealer was just kind of lightly blending into the contour. Now I'm taking my beauty sponge and really blending in with the darker shade. So staying kind of in this area at first, taking it down around the contour, kind of cleaning it up a little bit. And then I turn my sponge to where there's not all the foundation on there. And that's kind of what I use to blend into the contour with. So you can tell that I still have some redness, and you can still see a couple of these guys poking through. But like I said, this is just for when you're wanting to hop out the door right now, just to go out to run errands. I know here in Arizona it's already really hot outside, and during the summertime I really don't like to wear full cake face, a lot of foundation, because it just melts off the second you walk out the door. So this will last all day. Okay, so now I'm gonna set all of that using the RCMA No Color Powder. Just pour some in the cap. And I got this off Amazon. It was actually a Christmas gift, so I don't know how much it was, but I don't think it was more than like $12. So everything so far is really affordable as well. So I just take my sponge into the cap and lightly press it into the skin. So you see it's on the tip. I'm gonna push it into the skin and then take this flatter part to kind of spread it around. Because again, we don't want to be cake face, but we do want it to last, so we're gonna lightly set it. And I don't, even though it's no color powder, I kind of just use the powder to blend in the contour further, because we're gonna go back in with an actual bronzer powder in a moment. So I use this to set the rest of my face. Okay, and now we can move on to the bronzer and contour powder, and for that, I'm using the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette as usual. Mixing these two shades. Then you guys know that I just like to take a little bit of color onto the nose. I'm still using the Milani Baked Blush in the color Luminoso. I start on the apples of my cheeks and kind of bring it back to the contour, and you can see the highlight right here with the blush. So I just pat it on, bring it back, and what I like to do, totally optional, but I kind of like to make like a V with the blush in this area. Because when you're out in the sun in the summertime, at least for me, this whole area right here is where you would get the most sun. So we still want it to look natural, so I'm not gonna go overboard, but I start in the apples of the cheeks, bring it back, and whatever's left, I kind of make a V like this. And then a little bit on the nose. And if it's too much, you can always kind of pat it in with the Beauty Blender to kind of diffuse that. I go on to brows. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow powder. And I just quickly do this step, because if I try to perfect my brows, this step would literally take me 20 minutes. Brows is the longest part of my makeup. So I just kind of go with the shape it's already at and just lightly fill it in, because this is a natural look, remember, so I'm not going to go too heavy-handed with it anyways, because I don't want big, bulky, huge, filled-in brows and then the rest of my look is super natural. Alright, so sometimes I will skip eyeshadow. If I have time, then I'll do it, but what I'm doing is literally 30 seconds anyways, but you know, if I'm needing to run out the door, then I'm not going to do this step, but since we have time, I'm going to do it. So I have the Milani Most Loved Mattes eyeshadow palette. And I start on the lid and just bring it up to the crease blend it a little bit above the crease, and that's it. This just brings back a little bit of color to your eyelids, but you don't have to do this step. Okay, so next I'm gonna pop on some mascara really quickly. Okay, so I have a little trick for the lips. I feel like lip liner is super underrated, and I don't know why, because I feel like it's just something that adds a lot of shape to your lips, and also I think that it almost acts as like a primer for lipstick. So I'm going to use the NYX lip liner in the shade Sandstorm, and I'm going to slightly overline my lips. But I say that it acts like a primer because I use a lot of liquid lipsticks because those are the ones that I feel like last throughout the day. So especially with my dry lips, if I have a lip liner on and then lipstick on top, I feel like a drying liquid lipstick or anything like that isn't touching my lips necessarily because there's that small barrier there. I don't know, that could be in my head, but I just feel like it just makes the biggest difference with dry lips, because if I slap on a liquid lipstick without lip liner, I can tell that my lips get more dry, they kind of get flaky. So, yeah. So I'm going to take the NYX Lingerie Lip Color in the shade Silk Indulgent. And I pop a little bit right in the center. And just dab it out with your finger. And then that is the finished makeup look. So still really natural. Like I said, it's super, super fast. And I do it every day for work, for going out on the weekends when friends come over. This is just my go-to super quick makeup look. And then something I wanted to mention to you guys is I think I'm gonna do, I don't know what to call it. Like I want to do like everyday and like super glam makeup like this, but I also want to do like, is it editorial makeup, I guess? I don't know, like costume makeup as well. I went back to rewatch some of my old Halloween videos, and that's the reason why I started like the whole YouTube thing, was because I like doing like costumey makeup. And like when I watch YouTube, that's what I watch. I watch people kind of transforming themselves into a character or like a monster or something crazy like that. Like I love doing this, but I feel like this can get like repetitive and boring to watch. And in my head, when I think about filming makeup, I don't think about this necessarily. I think about doing like, I don't know, I think about doing like crazy things, and I bought so much stuff when it was Halloween, and I have a lot of it left over just over there in a drawer, and I'm just like, okay, I have all the stuff. So I think I'm gonna do some of that as well, even though obviously it's not like Halloween time and no one has any reason to go out in costume makeup right now, but I think that's more interesting to watch than something like this. Like I'll still do stuff like this obviously, but I think I'm gonna flip-flop between like normal everyday makeup, glam makeup, and then crazy monster costume makeup. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely hope that that's something you guys want to see. Some glam and everyday makeup, and then some kind of costumey, kind of out of the box, different makeup. If so, don't forget to subscribe so you can stay tuned for that, and leave a comment down below and let me know what kind of makeup looks you guys want to see in the future. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.